Hello guys, Thicc here. So just want to share with you guys a Hair of Agony Juggernaut build that I have created for the Metamorph League. Pretty fun build, probably one of the more viable tank build in the meta alongside with Righteous Fire, but it feels a bit like Righteous Fire but deal a lot more damage than Righteous Fire. And being a very boss oriented league, right? I actually recommend this build quite a bit because this build is actually really good for boss killing. And when you don't know about the new mechanics of the bosses, this build is pretty good because you're able to face tank almost everything from the bosses and still dish out really nice damage. So one of the ways we are actually skilling damage for this build is called the skill Herald of Agony. Herald of Agony is every time we poison the enemy we get stacks of virulence, and we can get up to 40 stacks. And every stack of virulence, the spider that we spawn from the Herald actually gets more damage. So at max 40 stacks is actually insane amount of damage. So there's a few ways to generate high virulence charts. In the video background you can see that I'm using Cyclone. Cyclone is pretty good to get virulent stacks. You can use Rain of Arrow with Quill Rain. These are a bit more budget because Quill Rain is about 1 chaos and Rain of Arrow shoot a bunch of arrows. Pretty nice for leveling overall. But the main thing about Quill Rain is that once you actually go to the late game against bosses, I don't think it's very nice to stack virulent stacks using Rain of Arrow. It's really nice against swarms of enemies and against early game Act 1 to Act 10 monsters. But once you actually get to leveling in the mapping, I actually recommend Cyclone. And it's important that we actually support our Cyclone with poison support so that we actually increase the chance of poisoning by a lot. The chance of poisoning from just the Hair of Agony alone is quite little, so you actually want poison support. So almost every hit you're almost like going to poison them. Getting the virulence stack is really nice. There's also some other ways to get high virulence stacks, like using the Golden Rule Jewel to reflect the poison onto yourself, and you actually get virulence stack as well. So it's important to keep like near 40 stacks of your virulence, and we're also using another aura called Flesh and Stone support, and we plan to support it with the main support so you actually get more damage. This build we can easily hit about 8k HP. In this background I'm about level 71 to 72, so I have about 7.8k HP. Once I actually get more damage node and upgrade my other gear, then I get about near 8 to 9k HP. But I actually plan to get more minion damage nodes because since I'm playing soft core, you don't actually have to go for like 9k plus HP. About 8k is a really sweet spot for the Thicc Jug. Damage wise, this build definitely dish out quite a lot. And one important thing to note, that scaling Hair of Agony is very important that you scale the level of the skill gem as well, because like all minion skills, you actually want to scale the level. It actually adds a lot of damage than just scaling the damage itself. So we're actually running we are running a pseudo helmet, pseudo 6 link with +3 level, and also minion damage supported, and also empower. So we're trying to get empower level 4 when we actually have more budget, and also get level 21 Hair of Agony. So from the helmet +3 level, empower 3 levels, and Hair of Agony is 21. We're actually boosting our Hair of Agony to a level 27. So that's actually a lot of damage. And we also have damage on full life support because our Hair of Agony minion is actually immortal, so his HP is always full. So damage on full life support is really nice with this skill. Also we are using pierce support just so they can pierce, and also like the projectile damage is pretty nice. And also empower, pierce, damage full life, Hair of Agony. Pretty simple. So I'm gonna show you my Caravan character right now. So I'm gonna show you my current character right now. about level 75 at 7.5k HP. So I can go through a bit about the gear. Very simple in terms of the gearing. It's important to know how to min-max it as well, and you can go on a budget build and it still works really well. So I want to talk about the important components of this build. Definitely the helmet is a really important part because we are going for a pseudo 6 link on our helmet. The +3 level for minion gem is like a pseudo empower level 4 with minion damage, some life and some minion damage. Pretty good helmet. You don't really have to get +3 level or like supported by 20 minion damage. You can go even lower than that, +2 level, +1 level. On even the minion damage, you don't even need to have it, but it's recommended to have it, right, for the mid-max. So for our 4 link, we are actually going for Empower, Herald of Agony, Peer Support, and Damage on full life. I really recommend getting Empower Support level 4 if you can afford it. I just currently trying to keep my currency, then buy it later on. But when I have enough currency, it's about 8.6 Exile for Empower level 4. Pretty expensive, but if you really want to get that big damage, you really want a level 4 Empower. So these are all really nice. The nice thing about Herald of Agony is that your damage actually scales with level. So every time you level your gem, you will know that you're gonna get more damage and you're gonna scale really nicely. So another important component is the Gemini Claw. Gemini Claw is really nice because of the implicit of mana gain for each enemy hit by your attack, and the life is also pretty nice. So every time we hit an enemy, we're actually gaining a lot of mana back. So the mana cost is 5 for Cyclone every second, so we're actually getting more than we use, so we can sustain it for a very long time. And for the weapon, get some minion damage and also trigger a socketed spell when they use a skill. This is really nice because we're gonna put in Desecrate, Spirit Offering, and Projectile Weakness. So every time we spin, we're gonna curse them, and we're gonna Desecrate, we're gonna get the Spirit Offering. Spirit Offering, our minion is gonna get a lot more damage, so that's really nice. So the glove is also very important. It's important to have socketed gems supported by poison. You don't need level 18 poison. Level 16 is fine because the difference in the poison support gem level doesn't affect the chance of poisoning enemies. The only difference in the level is actually the damage from poison, so you don't really need to care much. You just get a level 16 or level 18 is just fine. A little bit more health is really nice, and I actually go with some dex on the glove as well because we actually need about 159 dex for level 21 Herald of Agony. So having a lot of dex is very important, and intelligence as well, because Spirit Offering at level 20 you need 155 intelligence. So it's important that we get about 155 intelligence on our gear. The main thing that this gear lack, this build lack, is probably dex and intelligence. So amulet and your ring, you want to get as much dex and intelligence as possible while squeezing out HP and resistance. So that's really important. You don't want to have added cold damage and lightning damage. The reason why I have it on is that I'm not looking for anything to craft on, because I bought this ring from someone else, so I just hold on to the ring with the crafted mods. But if you need resistance, you can just craft it onto the ring. The added damage doesn't actually help anything at all. So our boots, we just want HP, rest, and movement speed. We want the armor based boots, but at this point I just got a random boots from my stash tab just to use it temporarily until I actually buy a better one. So for belt, you want a leather belt because the implicit of more HP is really nice. You also want to get like life regeneration, which is really nice, but I didn't have it on this belt. Probably get it later on once I actually upgrade on my other gears. And for the shield, we are using Sapphire Frame shield. It's really nice. It just gives a lot of resistance. You can see our resistance are kept at 80% and 81%. So it's a bit like we are wearing a law wreath, but actually not wearing a law wreath. So that's really nice. The 5% in terms of resistance is a lot of difference in damage mitigation. So that's really nice. So our full link, we are not really optimal yet because I haven't upgraded my boots. So our weapon, we are using Spirit Offering, Desecrate, and Projectile Weaknesses. Helmet is your normal link, and your Cyclone, I'm linking Cyclone. Withering Touch to wither the enemy, so we actually deal more damage for our spider. Faster attack so that we actually get more virulent stack, and also Fortify to get the damage mitigation. If you don't have supported by poison, you can put in supported by poison until you actually get a glove that is supported by poison support. Then you put in Fortify support. Fortify support is just really nice for survivability. Then for our cast and damage taken, we are going with Immortal Core. You can go for slightly higher level ones. So this is really nice, and I actually plan on using a Molten Shell because since we have 10,000 armor, we want to use a Molten Shell that we press on our own. Not cast when damage taken, but rather we activate the Molten Shell on our own. So that's a really nice survivability. So for our aura, using Flashstone. Flashstone is really optimal if we actually put with min support, so the damage actually increase. The enemy main by this skill take 15% will increase when you actually put main support link with Flash and Stone. So you wanna do that, but I'm currently looking at how can I put in the main support into the setup. So Convocation is really important for this build because usually our spider will attack at the range that it can hit and it won't actually move closer. So if the spider don't move any closer, you're not getting all the projectile hitting the bosses, so it's kinda wasting the damage, you know. So you wanna move the spider as close to the boss as possible. So all the projectile hit the boss, you're gonna deal a massive amount of damage. It's really good for enemies with proximity shields. So Convocation is just overall really nice, and you can also use it to proc your Spirit Offering quite often when you're not moving. So I also plan on using Flame Dash, link it to Arcane Surge to get some mana regeneration, but I don't think we actually need mana regeneration since we got Gemini Claw. So you can think about it. I don't think we actually need it, so I don't plan on using any golem because the golem die really fast. Maybe you can put in cast and damage taken summon stone golem, but I don't think a golem is really nice in this build since the golem is gonna die really fast. So that's about for my equipments. So for flask, it's about evasion, granite flask, basalt flask, quicksilver. Forbidden Taste is really nice because of the instant recovery. Since we have so much HP, any other flask available in this game is actually quite hard to get 8k HP back, you know. So Forbidden Taste instantly recovers like 94%, which is really nice for a high HP pool Juggernaut build. So for Pantheon, we are going with Solaris. The reason why Solaris is that the upgraded version is really nice. I'm on my way to upgrading my Solaris now. You can see the first one is really good against boss, but the other three like Gorgon, Eater of Soul is really nice, and like Kitara is also pretty nice. The next one I'm thinking about going to Yokohama because standing still we get a lot of regeneration and damage mitigation. The other one, if you actually like to move a lot, you can actually go for Grakun. I think Grakun is actually pretty good for survivability, but I think Yokohama is really nice if you are not moving around. And as a Juggernaut Thicc Jug, I don't think you gotta move around quite a lot, so the Yokohama is a really good Pantheon to use for the Thicc Jug. So pretty much that's about it, and it's really important to quality your gems like Herald of Agony. Herald of Agony, you don't have to quality it, because Herald of Agony, when you quality it, is actually only increasing the movement speed of the Agony Crawler. So you wanna quality like damage on full life support and quality peer support. And for Spirit Offering, you also want to quality it because the damage buff is really nice. Projectile weakness is also really nice to quality. But it's important to get Herald of Agony 21 and Empower level 4. That's the best way to scale your damage in terms of this build. So that's about it. I'm gonna put in my path for building in the description down below. There's also the other variations of Herald of Agony builds like Champion, which is pretty nice. I think Champion is really good as well because Champion, you actually deal more damage than the Juggernaut version because nearby enemies are intimidated, they are torn. So you actually deal more damage with the Champion version of the Herald of Agony. But the Juggernaut is just a more tanky version. Very viable for League Starter to get currency because you don't actually need insane gear to actually start off mapping. And once you actually get more currency, you can start investing into the gems like Empower level 4 and also level 21 Herald of Agony. It's really nice using this build because every time you level up the gem, you know that the damage is gonna increase by quite a lot. So I actually really like this build. So I hope you guys have a nice day and enjoy your time.